entity on their dashboard that just would keep bringing more customers
Well,
in over and over again.
What's interesting is people were like, "Oh, well, they're not going to get rid of Mixer anytime soon. They just paid millions and hundreds of millions for all these streamers." But then it turns out they paid for all these streamers, but then they had hardly anybody running Mixer, right? They like laid everybody off, so it really didn't make sense. And it's like, I think though that they're playing the long run with this. But again, and I'll also say this: people that assume that PlayStation's dead in the water if Microsoft goes completely free multiplayer, I'll remind everybody, look back to the Xbox 360 era. The PlayStation 3 had completely free online and got its butt kicked almost the entire generation by the Xbox 360, which you had to pay $60. You had to pay $60 a month to even watch Netflix on that thing, right?
Yeah.
And Xbox still basically won, and they ended up in a dead heat. I think PlayStation 3 beat it out by like less than $1 million at the end. But literally, the entire generation, people would rather pay for their online service with Xbox Live than get free on PlayStation 3. So it's not as cut and dry as people think. Also, PlayStation Plus tends to give you much better value in terms of like AAA releases that they give you. And I just feel like Microsoft and PlayStation has more of a console in mind for the future, and that's different approach than Microsoft. Microsoft really has more of a app or Game Pass type thing in mind, so the console thing isn't as important to them. And all you have to do is look to that November or that July 23rd thing to see that Game Pass is the most important thing to them, not the Series X. They didn't show anything on it. They didn't talk about it at all, so I mean, honestly, as far as like putting stuff day and date, Sony's quarterlies come out on the 4th, so in 2 days. I expect, from everything that we've been hearing, the PlayStation to have smashed all kinds of records because of the current situation in the world, right? Like, they literally were selling millions and millions. Like, it was the best April, May, June in the history of consoles. PlayStations were selling out. They weren't on sale. Like, PlayStation Pro, $399 still. PlayStation Slim, $299. So these things aren't on sale, These things, and they also had Final Fantasy VII, which was like sold well. The Last of Us 2, incredibly old. Ghost of Tsushima, 2.4 million copies in just 3 days. Like, they probably are posting record revenue and record sales. I wouldn't be surprised. And you can if the PS4 is close to 120 million now, right? It was like 111 million, and they're selling millions each month. It would not surprise me if they announce 120 million. It would not surprise me if they're up to 50 million PlayStation Plus subscribers. They were at like 41.5 million before. So it wouldn't surprise me to see that jump as well. They're probably going to announce total number of games sold. They already broke the record for software sold, like 1.3 billion pieces of software sold on the PlayStation 4. It's like, these stats, whether you like PlayStation or not, this is great for console gaming. I don't want console gaming to ever go away. I want console gaming to stick around for a long time.
What is everyone saying right now? Everybody's saying that the PC is growing, that gaming community is growing. Well, think about it for a second. You don't have to have a 2080 Ti or looking to get the latest and greatest 3080 Ti or 3090, whatever they're going to call it in the upcoming fall release. But there's people building PCs. And you know why? They want dedicated hardware that runs their games as good and as great as possible. And that's what you're getting. PlayStation's staying more traditional. Now, Xbox is giving you that with the Series X, but it does look like they're giving us the Series X, and they're still trying to veer off and be that app. They want Game Pass I think they want Game Pass to supersede and do better than anything on the hardware of the console. They want you to just have Game Pass. They're more concerned with that than they are with you buying the console. They've said that a number of times. That being said, Sony's the other way. Sony's saying, listen, you guys are out there buying PCs and buying parts for PCs at rapid numbers, unbelievable numbers, breaking record numbers. Guess what? That means somebody still wants to go to the store. Somebody still wants to buy a pre-made console that is uber powerful, put it underneath their TV, and play video games at the best fidelity that they can for this generation. I think where Sony and Microsoft made big mistakes was last generation, 2013. They both came out underpowered. Of course, Microsoft was slightly underpowered more than the PS4. But again, same thing I said at the beginning of 2013 is the same thing I'm going to say now. Okay, 980 or whatever it was, 900p versus 1080. That was very similar. That was hard to see. Only Digital Foundry, when they zoomed in 18 times into the corner crevice of a shadow, did they see a pixel that we didn't pick up. Okay, and the same thing here. 12 teraflops versus the 10.3. They're both going to be doing 4K, or both games are going to be doing 1440p respectively, depending on what third party wants to put out there. They'll both do 60 frames if it's possible, or they'll give you a mode where it does it at 60 frames and a mode that does it at 30 with a higher resolution. We know that these things are coming out, crap. So the point of the matter is, how are the developers and how are the companies handling their IP? How are they moving forward? And I'm seeing Sony pay tremendous amount of attention to their dedicated IP from this generation and the one back and moving forward. And with Microsoft, I'm seeing them now trying to branch out. But you sit there and you go, what have you been doing the past 5 years? They stopped making games like 5 years ago, right? And now we see the Xbox Games Showcase, which was, I thought it was a decent show. It wasn't great.
Yeah, I like some of the stuff they showed. I just like
it's
it seems
not coming
like
out crap, but the games are coming out till 2023 most part. For the most part. That's a long. So now you're telling me I've been waiting for 5 years, and now I got to wait another 3. Where Sony's saying, listen, you know, we've got the bangers coming out all the way until the end of the PS4 era, and then we've got some timed exclusives, which look like a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to Deathloop. I'm really looking forward to Godfall. And then I can't wait to play Miles Morales. I can't wait to play Ratchet and Clank. And I'm hoping that we're going to get Last of Us 2 Factions multiplayer. I mean, that's an unbelievably star-studded lineup, crap. I don't care what anybody says. That's a great lineup to take the box home, plug it in, and start playing.
And not only that, but within the first year, they're saying like Gran Turismo is going to be within the launch window. Horizon Forbidden West, that's a huge AAA, right? Yeah. Like that's going to be within the first launch year as well. Probably the holiday.
I would say either maybe holiday 2021. It could even bleed into February 2022.